If you've played Minecraft long enough, then you know what Skyblock is, right? You spawn in the void, you stand upon an L-shaped landmass, a singular tree and a chest are your only companions. It is a game mode about making use of what little resources you have and feeling regret over each and every little block that falls into the clutches of the void. So when someone invited me to try hypixel Skyblock, I was expecting much of the same. Instead, I was immediately greeted by a giant portal, an island with rocks and flowers, and I just started punching the tree, ignoring the luscious world around me. There were a few things going through my head, but mainly, why is there a portal here? After making a workbench and crafting a wooden tool, I began to plan how I would transform my island, because that's what I was here for. I wanted the simplicity of Skyblock, because I had never played Skyblock to begin with, so why not start now? After I dug around for about 10 minutes and removed most of the dirt on my island, I went about building a bridge and talking to this Jerry person. Now, Jerry was a lovely man who showed me many different options available to customize and manage my island. I decided I preferred the more natural and simplistic aspect of Skyblock, so I closed his menu and instead checked out the child behind him. So I explored the little cave on Jerry's island, where I was relieved to find my first normal feeling Skyblock items in a chest, and then started to remove my bridge for no particular reason. I went back to digging, quietly, silently, listening only to the little chimes programmed to ring whenever I broke a block. A sound which was somewhere between cute and sprightly and... Someone please tell me there's a way to turn off the sound, it's beginning to annoy me. After digging out my island like a hollowed out bowl, I decided I should probably make a bridge between my island and Jerry's island, even if only for the sake of story progression, and because I thought it looked nice. When I died, I was momentarily off-put by the fact that I not only respawned instantly, but also still held all my items. I felt like the harsh reality of losing all your items if you fell off of your island in Skyblock was a little lost in this hypixel version of Skyblock, but... Okay, I feel like I need to contemplate life for a moment. Give me a second. Recognizing that this single piece of bedrock that I couldn't break or move apparently acted as my respawn point, I decided to decorate it a bit. After putting a few extra touches on my spawn point, I finally decided that it was time to build a tree farm. Then I looked over my island to see all I had done within the last hour and 10 minutes, and finally entered the mysterious portal that I'm sure everyone has been wanting me to go through since the beginning of this video. A server hub. Indeed, I had officially stepped away from the solace of my island in the sky and into the bustling world of civilization called a massive multiplayer online server. There was a giant map. Overwhelmed by this sudden change of social tone, I quickly identified from whom I could purchase some bone meal for growing my trees and immediately went back home to the solace of my island and grew wood that I cut. And then I walked across the bridge, danced around my soil, and went back to my island, crossed the bridge, and entered the portal in a totally normal manner. I introduced myself to a bunch of NPCs who taught me how hypixel Skyblock is designed to function and how this game mode was ultimately meant to be played, such as completing random quests and getting free stuff just for talking to someone. It was that moment that I decided this hypixel Skyblock might be better described as a general RPG with your home base in the sky rather than a simple Skyblock with additions. But that was fine. I could roll with that. I wasn't expecting a simple Skyblock experience with tiny wins in my pocket with a focus on survival at all anyways. No, not at all. Definitely not me. Was not my intention at all. As I walked around the hub, discovering new areas, I eventually ended up in the area called the Graveyard. Here, I started to single-mindedly slay zombies. For one purpose, and one purpose only. To level up. At this point, I should probably remind you that I had been invited to play hypixel Skyblock. I wasn't just here because I wanted to be. I definitely wasn't here because I wanted to be. The person who had invited me turned out to be a pretty high-level player, and I was obviously just starting out, so they had asked me multiple times at this point, because I had just been building my island this entire time, and completely ignoring the thought that I needed to level up my character so that way I could play with the person. Which basically entailed me killing everything on site. Kill zombies, kill items, kill zombies, kill myself, kill zombies, kill wheat, jump over the river bend and get launched into this area with an epic backtrack that has absolutely no right being this great of a bop to listen to. Then get one shot by a silverfish. And then go back to slaying zombies, and more 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 zombies, and eventually upgraded to slaying spiders. At least this place also had a pretty epic soundtrack to listen to, but I was beginning to realize, wow, hypixel Skyblock is a grind fest. Grind after grind after grind after grind and after grind. I was getting bored. Desperately bored. It was pretty entertaining to kill the spiders who swarmed the high-level player that had invited me in order to assist me in my leveling up, but it was still boring. Not even the song could entertain me. It was boring. I missed my island, my home. I missed the simpler times of just Skyblock being Skyblock, how it was initially intended to be played. And so I went back home, and I started doing just that.